We're live. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good morning. All depends on where you're located. Back again. USFL presents another owner's box. Second one of this Madden year for myself. You know what I'm saying? After the call, I want to welcome my host, the Giants, Ty-riffic. What's going on with you, brother?
Another day, another dollar. Same old.
Yeah, man. As we approach week 17, it was a lot going on since the last time I joined the league. Since I rejoined the league a couple weeks ago. Speaking from my perspective, I had a couple rough games. Coming back. I had to get the rust off me. Took a couple people, one or two people deep. Tried to sneak one on Boone. Tried to come back and claw against one on you. So noticed a couple upsets. How you feel about the league so far going into the playoffs with this being week 17?
Before I answer that, I actually do want to get your takes like how we did last time on, because I think you have an interesting perspective being away from the game so long. So I want to kind of get your takes about how you feel about the gameplay trends, what you see, what you think works, what you're surprised doesn't work. I want to get your takes on that first.
Well, see, it's tough for me to judge, really, because the team I have is so lackluster in talent, which is surprising, though. A lot of stuff, so let's say offense, I noticed on going against people, a lot of people are playing deep, especially like deep middle. A lot of people playing like a lot of bend-don't-break defense. So you'll see guys dropping back, but then they'll like try to like bait people. Even guys who have strong use, I see like really trying to bait, which is kind of cool. I like that as a competitive nature. I like that. I see a lot of cover 3. And then a lot of cover 3 that's not the standard with the purple. It's the cover 3 with the seam flats.
Yeah.
Start to see a lot of that. Surprisingly, too, cover 2, Tampa 2, I'm seeing a lot of blitzes coming from that. Not just you. I know that's your thing. Just other people, too, like looping this guy around the side. So that's what I've noticed on offense. On defense, it seems to be a real pass-heavy league. Which plays into my favor. That helps me to get back a lot faster. Aside from C Black, who like tried to run his running back 20 times, and then the Saints who ran pretty well on me. A lot of it's really been pass heavy, and then the safeties, man. I don't know if it's just me, but the safeties aren't putting their damn hands up, man. It's bananas. Like I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe because I don't have guys with high awareness or something, or play rec. But good lord, man, like their timing is off. It's all something terrible. And then also speed still kills. You proved that with Fuller, 90 whatever speed he has, and my 89 cornerbacks. I thought they could run with him at least to look like you wouldn't throw the ball. You still were throwing the ball over the top. So I was praying to God that you weren't throwing the ball, but you still was throwing it. So speed still definitely kills. And then let me see, plays, a lot of crossing routes. Man, you weren't bullshit. A lot of people are running that. It's not a drag, but that fancy cross like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's the one that gets right in between the deep
every zones. Yeah. You gotta almost as a defense, man. You got to commit to that. You got to commit to the user in that. So that's what I've seen a lot of. Out routes still work. Me, glitchy gates, always looking for out. So. It's good.
Yeah,
it still work.
And I was like, man, that son of a gun. Because it was a couple of times you tapped me on that left side. Remember how you said you remember Tampa 2 with me? I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. So, what about you? And how do you feel about just where the league is going into the playoffs?
Well, just to comment on a few things you said first, the safety thing has kind of been off and on like that all year. I know a lot of folks have felt since this last patch we got, which was maybe about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks, that it's been worse. I've heard a lot of people stating triangle has been broken. I haven't had any issues with triangle, but I do know what you're talking about with the awareness, and it's on both sides of the ball. Like there was 2 plays in our game. There was one play you kind of had not sent heat, but your lineman disengaged. I rolled to the right. I had a perfect strike to my tight end. It hit him in the back of his damn neck. He turned around. He bobbled the ball 55 times. Another dude came over there and he still dropped it. And then there was another play where I threw it to Beckham. This is Odell Beckham with like 99 everything, awareness included. He was wide open, and he just kept acting like he wanted to run his route, like Lawletta put it right. So I've seen that all year. I don't really know what that's about. It's not just the safeties. It's on offense too. I've had so many plays like those two plays all year where dudes just don't react. I mean, I get it if it's an inferior player, but when you're talking about an Odell, let's say, with super high awareness, I would think that he would turn his head around and look and track the ball, do something. Don't just keep running the route.
Yeah.
But in terms of the league, really, really interesting. Some really big developments. I think the playoff picture's a mess on both sides of the ball.
A mess in a good way? A mess in a good way? Like these games, this last game, these games matter? Like week 17 matters?
Yeah, it does, but it's a mess in a good and bad way because there's two owners who are eligible for the playoffs who are not going to be eligible for the playoffs because they've got more than 5 sims. And those two issues are really going to cause problems. One is in the NFC, one is in the AFC. Aside from that, the teams that are remaining, there's such a glut of teams for like that 6th spot with a bunch of games still not played. The playoffs are kind of still up in the air with the exception of like maybe the 1 and 2 seeds in both conferences. Like well, the divisions are kind of rounding into shape now too, but like the 5 and 6 spots, like who knows? I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, I couldn't even, like my head hurts trying to think of the possibilities.
Right. Who's deadlocked right now in the playoffs? Like who's set as far as number 1 and number 2 seeds? Are they both set on both sides of the ball?
Let me look and see. Well, see, no, right? Here's where it gets dicey. The Browns are currently ranked. That's Tick.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 in the AFC, but he's 13-3. The Raiders are 14-2. So they're looking like the 1 seed. But if Cletus wins his game against Strong, he's also 14-2. Now, Raiders played Cletus earlier in the year, and Raiders won. So I'm going to go ahead and assume Raiders will be the 1, Jets will be the 2. Now, Tick's 13-3, but Tick's not going to be eligible for the playoffs due to having more than 5 sim games. So you're looking at a possible 3 seed that's not going to be in the playoffs or going to get a forced loss against them, which is something that I've spoken to the other commissioners about, that this rule has to be tweaked. I think you've been hit with that rule before as well. I know a bunch of people have, but I think
I was hit with it for the first time not too long ago. In regards to having a couple sims, like more than that's like 6 sims or something like that. I just missed it. So
right. See, the problem that causes for me is twofold. And this is something that we're going to discuss in the off season.
Sure.
I don't like the fact that the person that plays them gets a free bye in the playoffs. It negates home field advantage. It negates being a 1 or 2 seed. Like, what is the incentive to be the 1 or 2 seed if a 6 seed comes up against one of these teams? Like, perfect example, the 3 would play the 6 in the AFC. So Tick's the 3 seed. So Tick gets a forced loss against him. You're talking about the 6 seed in the AFC getting a free bye to the division. I think that sucks. The other thing that I hate about this is I feel like at the point in time where somebody has 5 sims, they should start automatically getting forced losses the rest of the way, because it to hopefully knock them out the playoffs, period. Like, it's kind of a punishment for people who are not active, but you want to reward the people that are active so that person in the 7 hole, instead of sitting out and watching this person that hasn't played get knocked out, hopefully they get that 6 seed. So I think that's going to be tweaked in the offseason. But as it stands right now, I would say, yes, the 1 and 2, the 1 in the AFC should be the Raiders. The 2 should be Cletus. I think even if Cletus loses, he's still a 2. In the NFC, Dre's the clear-cut 1, and I'm the clear-cut 2.
Okay. Then we have the Bucks, the Bears, and then the Cards. Cards and Saints.
Now, Cards is the NFC owner that's in the same situation as Tick that's automatically going to get forced lost out the playoffs. So here's where it gets dicey about what I said about it being a mess, right? So Dre's 1, 2, Bucks are 3, Rico is 4. The Cardinals in the 5th seed, they're going to get a forced loss against them. Mm-hmm. Well, they may still be in the playoffs as the 5th seed. The 6th seed, you've got who haven't played yet.
What about we still have, what about like the Panthers? Oh, so even if the Redskins make it, the Redskins don't have an owner, right?
Right. You see what I'm saying about how it's it basically until we advance, there's so many scenarios. Redskins is a computer team. So if they happen to make it, they're going to get a forced loss against them. Mm-hmm. Cardinals is going to get a forced loss against them. Saints is 8-7. And Panthers are 9-7. So I think basically, I don't know who the Saints plays, but I think his game is the big game that's left in the NFC to determine what's gonna happen and who. Let me see if I can pull up the schedule here. Because I don't know what's going on with Kurt. Yeah, see, there's a lot of he plays Moondog.
Okay.
So,
well, let me go to the schedule here so people can see what the schedules look like for the rest of the way.
See, now the other mess on this schedule, since you're pulling it up, you see that Cardinals-Jaguars game?
Yeah.
If Jaguars loses that game to Cardinals, Boone wins the division. If Earl doesn't play this game or it's a forced loss against him, Sype Squad wins that division. The only good thing about that is it doesn't matter. They're both locked in as the 4th and 5th seeds in the AFC. It just determines who gets the game at home. Mm-hmm. But I know Boone was really wanting that game to be played.
Yeah, has Earl been playing his games?
Who?
Has the user Earl been playing his games?
Hit or miss. Like, he's got more than 5 sims. But when he plays, he's a quality player. But, like, you never hear from him in the chat. He's maybe the quietest guy in the entire league. I don't think I've ever seen that guy in the chat. Okay. So, I know he plays hit or miss.
Okay. And then what about, like,
Rams Colts isn't going to matter.
What about Jets and Patriots?
They're supposed to be playing today.
Does it matter who wins this game or not?
Well, yes and no. I was going to say no. But if Cletus loses, even though Tick is going to get a forced loss against him out of the playoffs, I think it does affect the seeding because now Tick's the 3 seed, and I think Cletus is the 4.
Okay. And then Cowboys and Saints, nothing, right?
No. That's a big game. Remember, if Kurt wins that game,
that's right.
I'm tied at 9-7. So I don't know which one of those two goes, but there's a tiebreaker there for the last playoff spot.
Rams and Colts don't matter.
Nope. Chiefs and Chargers, I want to look at that because I think that one might. I need to.
Okay. Yeah, and then I just heard from the Saints owner. He said he reached out to Moondog. He's just waiting to hear if he can play or not. Okay. Falcons and Bucks don't matter.
Hold on one sec. Okay, the Chiefs is 10-5. 1, 2, 3. The Chiefs, golly, boy, that's the AFC ain't no joke. See, the Chiefs is 10-5. See why that game I think matters. If the Chiefs loses that game, the Chargers. I don't see it, but if he does, he's tied with Bill and the Steelers, and they're both 10-6.
Okay. Yeah, I actually played the live game with the Chiefs, man. He's pretty decent. I like it. Yeah, I like his game.
I played him. In this season, and it was a tough game.
Yeah, I know his concern is if Boyd comes back, will he still get his Chiefs? So
I talked to him about that. I know he asked that. Mm-hmm. I'm not the only commission, so when I speak in terms of my opinion. I don't
Yeah.
speak for everybody, but my feeling on that is if he came back, Boer's got to get another team. Like, it's different if, say, Boer had played until like March and then said, "Hey, fellas, you know what? I'm a little burned out. I'm going to take some time off. I'll be back." As far as I'm concerned, that's his team when he comes back. But he's been going on Madden. There's no timetable on when he's going to come back. I know he recently got married before he left the league. I know he's doing some coaching and some other things as well. I don't know that Madden's on his highlight, but I wouldn't think it's fair for Chiefs to hold on to the Chiefs as long as he had them and then get bumped.
Right. Okay.
My opinion would be that's still Lincoln Eckler's team.
All right. Hey, man. If the Falcons owner happens to catch this, cheat him. I want my team back. Come next, man.
He's pretty good too, man.
Huh?
He's pretty good too.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting my Falcons back if possible.
His record reflected. I want to say when he came into the season late, they already had a losing record, but I can tell by looking at his gameplay, you and him are going to be major players in the NFC playoff scene next year. You guys are going to have something to say about it.
Okay, cool. Rams, Bengals, and Ravens, doesn't matter?
No.
Okay, and then Texans and Bills?
No.
Nah, I figured that. No problem. Cool. So just want to show everybody that there, the standings and things like that. So, who in your opinion, league MVP? Who do you have if we can just run through some, and in your opinion, since you've been around all season, not aside from what Madden has slotted or who they consider might be the MVPs or whatever. Who does Ty see is user? Let's say like our Owners Box awards. Who do you think they should go to? So let's just do MVP.
Because I think Madden kind of got it right.
Okay.
To be honest, it can be argued because I feel the top 4 candidates, you can make an argument for each one of them. Madden has Derek Carr at 1. Keep in mind, Cletus and the Jets haven't played. Madden has Carter from the Niners at 2. Madden has Kyle Lauletta from the Giants at 3, and it has Connor Durant from the Jets at 4. Now, the reason why I say you can make an argument for either one of them, Derek Carr threw for 5,000 yards. I want to say like 5,060 yards or something to that effect.
Crazy.
52 touchdowns. And I want to say he had under 20 picks.
Oh, yeah, 52 touchdowns? Yeah. Crazy.
As a matter of fact, you know what? I'll read. That speaks for itself. That's basically the equivalent of what Patrick Mahomes did this year. And I don't see why Mahomes isn't going to win the MVP. Derek Carr, 5,060 yards, 52 touchdowns, and only 16 picks.
That's impressive, man. That's impressive.
Right.
That's super impressive.
Right. Myself, Kyle Lauletta, 5,448 yards. So almost 400 yards more than Derek Carr. One less touchdown, 51, but I had 22 picks.
Even still, that's still
exactly.
Now you gotta be throwing at like almost 6,000 yards in a season. It's crazy.
Right. Now the Jets, and he's still a play, Connor Durant, 4,941 yards. I'm sure he'll crack 5,000. 47 touchdowns, 17 picks. Now, a typical Cletus game, let's say Cletus throws for about 350-ish. That puts him at about 5,300 yards. Say he throws about 3 touchdowns, he'll have about 5,300 yards, 50 touchdowns, and I'll throw in 1 pick. 50 touchdowns and 18 picks. So now you know why I said Durant, Lauletta, and Carr could go hand in hand. Now the wild card in this is Carr to hand, right? Mm-hmm. Carr to hand's passing numbers aren't anything that's going to blow you out of the water, but they're damn good. This is Dre's guy, 3,772 yards, 32 passing TDs, 11 interceptions, but I want to say he's rushed for about 16 to 17 touchdowns.
Okay. Yeah, and I wanted to congratulate him too, man, for going 16-0. Like, that's a huge accomplishment. I know Cletus usually is the one who grabs that. So for him to even be in that mention or that conversation to go 16-0 is super impressive. I don't know how many sims he had or computer games he had, but even
I don't think Dre had any. Dre was active, he was present, and I want to say he played all his games.
Yeah, so you know, CPU games or not, whatever, to me that's still super impressive. Shout out to the Niners. Just based on that, I think he's coach of the year, or coach / usually of the season.
He's definitely coach of the year. And honestly, going back to your question, I'm okay to say, even though it was really close with Derek Carr, Kyle Oletta, and Connor Durant for the Jets, if I had a gun in my head, I'm okay to say Carter Hand from the 49ers is the MVP based off my logic being as follows: 3,800 yards passing, 32 passing touchdowns, 15 to 16 rushing touchdowns, 11 picks, and the captain of an undefeated team. And if you look at the receivers, yeah, Dante Pettis' numbers are up there, but none of the receivers on the Niners are going to scare anybody. So it's not like the guy, like if you look at me, I have Odell and Will Fuller. If you look at the Jets, he's got Robbie Anderson and another beast over there. If you look at the Raiders, he's got Amari Cooper and Vincent Millard. His rookie had 24 receiving touchdowns and like 1,700 yards with 100 receptions. So I feel like me, Raiders, and Jets, I mean, we had the weapons to put up the numbers. And I'm not saying the Niners don't have weapons, but it was more about Carter Hand. You know how you used to tell me, I forgot who it was a few months ago, you said somebody's a one-man band and a one-man show, and they work the concession stands. It's kind of like that with the Niners.
Yeah.
They have marginal talent. They don't have the big superstar names on offense. On defense, though, that's where he has all of the studs. Fred Warner, Curry.
Yeah, crazy. He has like one of the craziest defensive lines I ever went against. Like,
yes,
like them dudes need to be tested for something, because they just be block shedding unreal, man. Seriously.
Well, you're right. It's a double whammy. His defensive line is awesome. His linebackers are awesome. And his user, I think, might be the best in the league. So combine what I'm saying. An awesome defensive line where he's getting block shed. Fast, athletic linebackers that can cover impasse, will stop the run. And then his user, which I think is probably, I think it's the best in USFL, in the middle of all of that. So he doesn't need to have like Jerry Rice and Randy Moss on the outside. He's got a quarterback that doesn't make any mistakes. They can make all the throws, and they can scramble. So I am comfortable to say Carter Hand should be the MVP of the league.
That's it, man. Those three things, like you say, you got the best user, MVP possibly, the record. All of that is the reason why I'm gonna just stay in Seattle. They're like, Bill, reached out to me and asked me if I want to take my talents to Washington. I looked at that team. That team is awesome, but the competitor in me I have to dethrone them. Yeah, I have to. I have to see what the hype is all about. I've been to San Fran. Shout out to the Bay, Oakland. They showed me love, Bay Area. I'm cool with them. I like it out there. I was just out there, but I need to see what the hype is about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm staying in Seattle.
And me and you talked about this prior to the show. That's really what you compete for. I mean, we all want to win, and everybody wants a Super Bowl, but there's games within the game, and it's a long season, right? The Super Bowl, if we all started 0-0 right now, man, that's a month and a half away in real calendar time. So during the course of that time, you need things to keep you going. You need the rivalries. You need to keep pace with the better users. You need those matchups that test your skill. You need to see where you're at. That's the competitor in us, and that's why we play. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I told you, and I told Dre, I said, I really hope I'm fortunate enough to play him in the playoffs. I haven't had a shot at 16-0. Every time we've played, we've been evenly matched. He beats me. Sometimes I beat him. It's literally even. It's always wild, crazy games. Every time me and Dre play, it's like a 38-35 game that somebody wins with 2 seconds left in the fourth quarter, or an OT, and there's 8,000 interceptions between us. So I feel you.
Yeah, no, it's dope, man. I mean, even when I've been gone all this time, and then even coming back, I've seen so much growth, and just even other users with their users. Saints beat me, which, man, that hasn't happened in any Madden ever. And I've known him my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So he's finally got one in on me.
I feel like him and Mo, Madden, and I seen it last year. I really feel like for the longest, Kurt and Mo they were knocking on the door last year. They were knocking on the door. But I felt like in Mo's case, Mo didn't have good situational awareness. Mo's user wasn't necessarily up to par. I felt he had good defense. I felt his offense was generic, and I felt he had way too many picks. But this year, I feel like he's comfortable in his offense. It's not flashy, but it moves the ball. His defense is really good, and he cut way down on his picks, and I feel he's a threat. Like, Raiders really played yesterday to put up stats, and Mo was up to the challenge. I feel Mo's good. And the same thing with Saints, like Kurt. I noticed it last year. Kurt gave me a few L's last year after not having beat me. And it wasn't a fluke because he did it more than once. They were all close, tough games, but he hung in there. And it says a lot about somebody consistently hanging around and taking your best shot and then figuring out a way how to topple you at the end when it counts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's only so long you're just gonna keep getting beat. And beat. And somebody just keeps slapping you upside the head, slapping you upside the head. I mean, when do you like, yo, that's enough goddamn slapping me? It's time to start turning these slaps back around. You know what I'm saying? And those guys done that. That's why I always
2x4, damn slapping you back. I'm gonna go 2x4, bust your head. You ain't gonna slap me no more. I'm here.
yeah, for sure. Because it's like, like you said, last year was like Mo was like, we had our Mo show versus this show rivalry and all that, but he was always trying to put up points and they couldn't figure it out. And then the question became like, is it his team? Is it him? I mean, now you can have that argument. He can easily have the argument. Like, y'all wasn't on the right team. Listen, so now I got my team that I like in real life. And I think when us as Madden players, we get that team that we really like in real life, it gives us something else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Gives us something,
There's a lot of pride in that, in putting that team together. I mean, if you think about it, and me and him talked about that before too, you're right. He was tough, close, and competitive last year, and that was with the Lions. And the Lions weren't a good Madden team. If you look at that team, with the exception of maybe Stafford, and last year they had Ebron, and what's my boy, Darius Slay, D. Slay, and maybe Ezekiel Ansah, there isn't much else there. See, I think that's one thing, though, that I think works. I think that's the next level for Mo. And I know Mo watches these shows, so here's what I'll tell Mo. Mo's got his gameplay down, and he's got his confidence up. The next level for him is Mo needs to invest in building a team. I feel like Mo just picks up and plays with whatever he has. He doesn't make many drafts, if any, so that's out of the question. He never makes a splash in free agency. And when have you ever, last year or this year, seen a Mo trade? No, I take that back. Last year, he made a trade with Cletus, I think. But I don't think he's made a trade all year now, and here we are in February. So if you're not building up that team and now you're 4 seasons in and you're losing high-priced free agents and you're not replenishing the bench and you're not developing young studs, you run into a wall like similar to what he did this year. That dude probably had the hardest schedule in the league, and he did it with a roster that was on the decline, and he still competed. So I think the next level for him now is saying, hey, man, where am I weak at? Where do I need to save some cap? What free agents can I pick up that maybe they ain't the splashiest names? Me, you, Boone, we're like masters at that. Cletus, picking up them dudes that maybe ain't the big names, but they fit our schemes and they fit well with what we do. That's the next level for him.
Yeah, and there's always room to get improvement. He's a great symbol of that. I remember when we had the same conversation about Strong, maybe like what was the last man? That was like a huge conversation. How he went from like under everybody, not even in that conversation, to like Strong beat Cletus that a couple times, and then he was like make the playoffs, and he had a great run with Brady and stuff like that. So I think it's just his time. Along with Tick, it's his time. Tease Tick a ton about having 4 or 5 plays, and then I'll go away and I'll come back and I heard he's like winning Super Bowls. He got like a whole playbook now. So it's just dope to see that evolution and just seeing like that hard work and that practice and all that stuff that we talk about all the time, always paying off.
It is. There's a lot of cerebral aspects to the game. It ain't just pressing square, circle, X, and triangle. Like there's a lot of situational things. There's when you do lose, what you do wrong. What can you learn from it? What routes are effective? I mean, it's if you really think about it, it's not much different than real NFL coaching. You think Bill Belichick doesn't have a playbook on all of the coaches he plays? What are their tendencies? What do they like to do? Who are their weapons? Who does he need to neutralize? It's the same thing. It's not just playing. And I think where you see the dudes like Mo and Kurt and Strawn getting over that edge is they're not just playing the game no more. They're playing the game within the game. They're making adjustments. They're doing the cerebral things. And I think that's where you see that ascension. And conversely, if you look at the people who routinely aren't doing well, they don't adjust nothing. They do the same thing the same way all the time.
It's funny that you say that because I was going to ask you what would be the Madden tip for going into the playoffs, and I think that's exactly it. Like whatever you did in these 17 weeks was cool, but these like last 4 games are super tough, bro. Because the people you're gonna play against are people who adjust all the time on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Like I could come out and cover 3 play. By the time I show my screen, if I ever show it, man, that's not even looking like a cover 3. It's just some old Frankenstein defense I put together and hope for you to figure it out. So I think that's definitely the Madden tip for this episode is adjust. Not even just in the playoffs, just adjust, one snap at a time, every time the ball snap, pick up on the person you're playing, their tendencies. You know what I'm saying? If they keep running to the right, start shifting and start doing something. Like you say, some guys I see don't even. They just come out and cover 2, and then that's it.
Yeah, they don't. You know what? I you're so right. I mean, that is the best tip. I mean, where was Dre last year? He was nowhere. Where was I? When I said last year, I mean last season. Where was Dre? He wasn't nowhere. Where was I? I wasn't nowhere. We was quietly building up our teams. We was adjusting. We was adding pieces, and we were perfecting our craft. So at the end of the day, we were able to take it to another level. I can't say no other way because you're saying it perfect. And I really hope the teams that find themselves consistently sub 500 understand that the definition of insanity is to repeat the same action consistently and expect a different result. And I've seen like Texans, that's my guy. He's made a lot of trades and blow up the roster, but it's not as simple as just trading for pieces and parts. How do they fit your scheme? How are you utilizing them high draft picks that he's consistently gotten? That dude's loaded with high draft picks, and they're ballers too. He's blown up the roster 2 or 3 times. But how are you scheming it and putting it together? Where are you going wrong at? What are you doing to fix where you're going wrong at? Why are you throwing 50 interceptions a season consistently? Do you need to shorten up your pass plays? Do you need to stop chucking it deep? You have to look at all these things.
Yeah. The one thing I do like about this, Matt, and it's funny that you brought that up, is the scheme fits, right? Like I know we say that it really don't matter when it comes to players, but just from a user perspective, going into that coach scheme, sorry, and you have to in that moment, you have to determine what type of team you're going to be.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You have to determine, am I going to be this West Coast one? Am I going to be this vertical one? Am I going to be this? Am I going to be that? And then that little paragraph at the top breaks it down for you. You just take that little minute to read that and determine, for example, I can't be a power zone run team and I'm in shotgun all the time. That makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. If that's the case, then I need to be a vertical or spread type of offense. And then it tells you the pieces to get. You know what I'm saying? Now that depends again, you can't really run around with possession receivers, you're gonna have low speed, but then you just, you tweak it. But at least in that moment, in that mindset, I want to be this type of team. Am I gonna be run heavy? Am I gonna be pass heavy? And then am I gonna run the ball a lot out of a single back? Am I gonna run a lot of ball out of the shotgun? You know what I'm saying? Those pieces right there, that's the adjustment stuff that you need. That's the adjustment that I'm also talking about as well. That stuff that's off the field. And because we watch guys, we watched the Rams, the previous Rams, he blew the team up and traded Aaron Donald. And you say Texans trade all the time. all these trades and all these high draft picks, but it's the same result, the same result, the same result, the same result. Like, it's crazy.
Well,
like, crazy. Like, when do you say, yo, that shit's not working? Or do we have to say it? Texans, that shit's not working. Get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get it together. This shit's not working, bro. It's time for a change.
To prove what you just said, I'm looking at my team right now. Now, think of how I played when I played you. Now, also picture Evan Ingram and Barkley in that mix, but think of the way I played. You know what my scheme is? Vertical zone run. Was that not what you seen? I stretched that shit vertical, and I took my zone runs in between them blocks where I could. I literally played to that. Now, it's funny you mention that because I want to look here. I don't want to pick on Texans, but I kind of want to look at the point me and you are making, and I want to actually look at some stats.
Sure. I mean, that conversation could also be had with Bills, with Joe Deasy.
Right. Now,
bro, you won, like, since I've known you, it's been 2 Maddens. You might have won 3 games.
Right. So I'm looking at Sam Darnold, his QB, obviously acquired from trade. It wasn't a horrible season. 2,071 yards, 11 touchdowns, 17 picks. Now, here's what I'll say. And he wasn't hurt because none of his other quarterbacks have stats. If you play a 16-game season in any league, I don't give a damn if it's junior varsity, you have 11 touchdowns, you ain't winning nothing. I mean, if you think about it, bro, there's some of us that can put up 11 touchdowns in 2 games. You played 16 games and you got 11 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now, if you're going to do that, what I would hope I'm going to see is 2,000 yards rushing. He rushed, his backs ran for a combined 1,200 yards. Jalen Holmes had 820 yards rushing with 4 TDs, and Zach Vierling had 399 yards with 2 TDs. So think about this. Obviously, just without even watching a ton of games, his starting QB is 11 touchdowns, and his 2 halfbacks combined have 6 touchdowns. Where the hell is the offense coming from?
That's the question. Like what is your game plan? Like, what's the game plan here? When and again, not to pick on Texas, we just use him as an example. Anybody, like, what is the game plan? Like, even I looked at the team that I had. I'm like, okay, I'm used to a certain amount of speed and used to the running back. Yo, they had none of that shit. Like, none of it. Like, their best running back had like 83 speed. Their best receiver had 87 speed. The cornerbacks 85, 86 speed. I'm like, yo, I'm about to die out here. I'm trying to run my vertical style offense, and it's like, no. I almost got blown out. So I had to like readjust my whole situation. Like, and I know life happens, and life happens, and it's hard to play a lot of games, but it gotta be like, it can't be fun winning, going 1-16, bro. It can't be, unless you're just all about doing draft every year.
And he's super active, and he's a cool dude, and he's really invested in the league, and he's just about having a good time in a good way. But I do know, for having talked to him, he wants to win. But like, see, for me, this is what I mean when we talk about adjustments, right? 11 touchdowns from the QB, 6 combined touchdowns from the running back. I'm looking at his receivers. His best receiver has 35 receptions for 642 yards. So instantly, if I'm this dude, either if you have the talent on offense, you need to figure out an offense that's able to move the ball. Like, you said it, and it annoyed the shit out of me, but in a good way. When we was playing, there was 2 drives where I felt like you had the ball almost the whole quarter. I'm like, man, come on, bro. But in a good way, because like you said, you was able on the fly to say, okay, I'm not going to be able to go up top, which I know you love to do. I'm looking at his defenses. He's sending it. Sometimes he's not sending it. He's mixing up coverage. I'm going to be smart and take what's there and what he gives me. And if it's a 2-yard play, it's a 2-yard play. I'm just going to keep taking mine. You mix in some nice runs. And that was just situational in the game. But if you have the ability to look at all of these stats in front of you, the problem is obviously your offense, bro. Like I said, I'm sorry. You're not beating nobody with 11 touchdowns for the whole season. I think that's an average of 0.6 touchdowns a damn game. Who the hell?
Or my offense is shit, but nobody else ain't scoring. Like, you know,
exactly.
like yo, I'm not getting no touchdowns, Nobody else is getting touchdowns. Games are gonna be 6-0, 3-0. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna come here and score 100 if our offense, like we gotta dominate somewhere. Somewhere we gotta dominate. Do we got to do interceptions? Anything?
You're right. I'm looking at his line. His line combined 7, 8, 9, 10. His entire line gave up 10 sacks the entire season. Think about how phenomenal that is. So his QB has more than enough time to get the ball downfield. And if they're not giving up sacks, they're probably holding blocks. So automatically, just by looking at that, like that's insane. 10 sacks combined for his team. I mean, he's got a hell of an offensive line. Now I'm looking at the defense. Sacks, he's got 12, 16, 19, 21 and a half in 3, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. He's got 28 sacks. That's not the greatest, but it's not horrible. Aaron Donald led his team with 7 and a half. J.J. Watt was second with 5. Picks, he's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so you're starting to get a really full picture here, right? Mm-hmm. He's not generating a ton of heat on defense, and he's not getting any picks. That tells me, combined with the offense he has, definitely he's got to work on his user. He has a beast-ass offensive line. He really needs to get some type of offensive scheme going there. His defense is bad.
Sure, because he's looking at about almost 2 sacks a game, right? Now, in theory, I mean, I'm not really one who can speak on because I don't blitz. But in theory, from a defensive mindset, I would think he should at least be able to get 1 sack per quarter, right? Or at least 1 sack. I mean, at least 4 sacks a game, or at least 3. Like our average for the whole season shouldn't be one, maybe 1.5 sacks a game. Like that means for them 40, whatever minutes we play per quarter, yet the quarterbacks are just standing there all day long and just picking you apart. And which I'm learning, even with this Seattle team, like guys are just standing there. Like I think like the one play you said where you just ran to the sideline. I mean, you was wide open for like at least 10 yards. You just didn't decide to run it with your quarterback. So
yeah, because if you think about it on that play, if I'd have hit that pass, that's like a 45. Like he had nothing but green in front of him. But I don't know what that dumbass animation he got was. But see, I want to touch on what you just said because that's one of my tips, right? He's not generating a lot of heat, but he doesn't have a lot of picks. That tells me his user's not active. So here's my thing. Everybody is not going to have the best user in the world, right? If you don't necessarily trust in your user, then send them damn dogs at the quarterback. Okay? The amount of time you got to cover is very minimal when you got 2 or 3 people going at the quarterback's head. Period. Point blank in a discussion. You can't not send the blitz, not have a good user, and just stand in coverage and hope and pray for the best.
Yeah, that's like just basically using the defense alignment and just trying to get off the line and then trying to make sacks on yourself. Like that's just tough. And again, we're not picking on just the text. That's just a tough way to approach the game, the mindset, and just when you're especially when you're like in a division where you have 2 or 3 people who can play at such a top level all the time and never take a down or a snap off, bro. That's just
he's got phone and sight for that division.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I do want to real quickly give my boy Don Joe, aka the Bucks, a shout out. He wanted me to let everybody know, and I seen him do this in UG too. The man got a 75 overall team. He said he's looking to make a splash in the playoffs with a 75 overall team. And it's funny because I do give Don Joe credit for that. I played him in the UG Super Bowl. And I remember prepping for that game, and I remember looking at his roster going, well, how's he doing it? I knew Larry Rose III was a beast and a monster, and I knew that was his horse. But once I got past L Rose 3, I'm like, man, I didn't know who half them dudes were. They didn't have good flashy stats. I was like, man, like this is definitely favorable for me. But I give him credit in terms of it goes back to what you just said and what you're trying to do with Seattle. There's a man with a 75 overall team. And I'll say this. Don Joe didn't get off to the best start this season. but he went in the chat and called the shot, pulled the Broadway Joe about a week or two ago and said, look, I ain't losing no more. Sorry, that's it. Done. And he left. And it wasn't shit talking. He wasn't clowning. He didn't have the LOL or the little laughing face. He meant what he said because he was a little bit of ruddy. He said, I'm not losing no more. And I'll be damned, he ain't lost since.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, shout out to Don Joe. I like him, man. He's like
good dude.
Yeah, and he's been on the show a couple of times. He reminds me of, he's like the Cletus on the NFC. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny to see him like enjoy the division, bro. Like, you know, enjoy it. I ain't there. You know, I thought the Panthers or the Saints would dominate. You came right on in, like, nope, not gonna happen. And we remember like when he first came into the league, he was just like, you know, he was asking, like, it's funny because he was like asking questions, and he joined the show, and then he was like, I feel like he's been just note taking, and then he's like, yo, if I cook all this up and put it together, I ain't, like you said, I ain't losing no more. And he just at that, he found his sweet spot, he found his rhythm. And we, you know, like, you know, when your scheme, you know, Ty, when your scheme is on, that shit is on. I don't care who you are. Your scheme is on. You got that scheme perfected. You've been running that shit 20, 30 times. Like the 4-play, 5-play tick system, I like to call it. It's hard as hell to stop that, man. It's hard to stop that.
It really is. And it's one of those things. See, that's where the genius of the adjustments come in, though, right? And it goes back to what you said. Yeah, you can call a cover 3, but how you going to run it, right? Are you going to shade up? Are you going to shade down? You're going to pinch your line? You're going to spread them and crash them? Are you going to contain? Are you going to change, you know, blues to purples, purples to blues? Or are you going to man up the free safety? It's the same thing on offense, which going back to why you can be successful with 4 or 5 plays. Some of the adjustments on some of these plays this year in Madden, with the way defenses don't or can't necessarily bring the heat, and everybody playing these spread with these crossers, that you got to think about what you said earlier, right? You got to honor that crosser that's going left to right in between the deep blue and the purple. Now the person sent a crosser another way. Now you have something underneath and something over top. What the hell is the user going to do? The user, no matter how good he is, can only take one of them routes away. And if you got time on top of that to sit there and wait and see and let things develop, and now you're Dre with Carter Hand, and as everybody ran upfield a couple of them routes, you just take off. Well, that's hell on earth to stop.
Yeah, that's a scheme, right? That's a scheme in itself, because nobody can account for that. Like, you can't really account for that scrambling quarterback. You know, especially when you say you're chasing that crossing route 10, 15 yards down the field, and here he comes on a bootleg and he's taking off. That's like the worst feeling in the world. That's so deflating, man. It's horrible. And then, like, especially when you even put the guy on the contain, he just run right past that shit. Like,
I've always felt since last year, and I feel it this year, it's slightly better, but not really. I feel like the contains just aren't effective to do what they're supposed to do. And honestly, I would like to see the spy automatically engage the QB once he leaves the pocket left to right, as opposed to you having to wait to click on L3 to push it in to engage the dude. Because sometimes, and that's why it's hard even with a spy to stop these dudes. Because when you're chasing that crossing route, you're looking at the defender sometimes. You're not looking back at the QB. And next thing you know, dude is sitting there doing his thing. Or the same thing that happens with play action that sucks everybody in, right? You see this dude run all the way to the left, and your dudes kind of run to the left, but they kind of stay in this weird holding pattern, holding their passing lanes. Then you're screwed because you got a choice. If I click L3 in and engage them dudes toward the QB, he's going to wait for me to get close and throw it right over my head. If I don't press that shit in, you know, dude can take off. So you're in that weird no man's land.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of like cross routes and things like that, Saints have brought it to my attention. How do I feel about Crossman? Now, Crossman is cool if you know. It's cool when you know your opponent. That's like your opponent's go-to route, right? Like, it's hard. You can't come out and Crossman somebody every down. Case in point, like a guy like myself, if I see you Crossman, I'm like, oh, okay, he's Crossman. And now I know to then just hike the ball and just send out routes opposite of the Crossman, because the cornerback is going to drop back. He's most likely in a cloud or deep blue, you know, and a comeback route or something could push him to fly back, because by nature in Madden, the cloud flats, every zone basically takes the steps back except for hard flats, right? So if I have the receiver and the slot on the same side and you cross man and thinking he's going to cross, and I just simply throw out routes or even do something simple as old school Madden, just the curl flat play. Standard curl flat. You know, the cornerback's always going to take the flat. The slot always dash to the sideline, and he should be able to dominate. Like, so for me, cross man, you got to be able to time it right, or you're going to get toasted.
I couldn't agree with you more. There's a lot of things people don't take enough count with cross manning too. Cross manning is exactly what it says. You're taking the dude on the right side of the field and manning him up on the dude on the left side of the field. Alleged that damn dude on the right side of the field has 107 speed. He's got to cover a lot of damn ground. If you ain't sending a blitz, and like Gates said, I'm smart and I know what you're doing, I'm going to hit that dude on the left all day long with short routes or routes that I know you can't get to. I'm going to cause havoc. That's one. Number two, I feel if you're going to do it, you better have a hell of a user because, again, both of them dudes coming from the left and right have to cover a shit ton of ground in between the hashes and to the sides. So you have to have a hell of a user to compensate for the dude who hasn't come over yet. Like, in other words, go back to our game. If I got Will Fuller in the left slot, he's already got 95 speed. You got him cross-man with a dude 30 yards across the field with 80 speed. Think of all of that distance I got. So your user now is stressed the hell out because if you know what's going on, you got to kind of cut Fuller off and keep him occupied until that dude gets there. Now you're opening up another side of the field. And last but not least, the thing you need to understand, you used to be able to cross-man any and everything. Last year, that was something they took out the game. So you can only cross-man out of certain formations. If you're going to do it, I seriously suggest you get in the lab and you really lab it up and understand how it works because it works differently out of different formations. It works differently out of 4-6 than it does out of 3-3-5 than it does out of 3-3-5 odd. You really can't cross-man out of any of the run-type defenses like 4-3 and 3-4. So you really have to know what you're doing. You have to have a strong user, and you have to really have athletes and speed that can cover a lot of ground. I don't suggest it. Not only that, actually, this is the last but not least. It's not as easy as you think to set that up pre-snap. So if you get somebody that quick snaps you, you're going to be screwed. You're not going to be able to set it up in time, especially if you like to adjust other routes, and you're just going to frequently have dudes running open all over the field.
Yeah, that's a really advanced tactic. And again, like you have to know when your opponent is doing that because once I see it, I'm like, okay, if I see it consistently, then I'll make sure that guy never crosses the side of the field. Like he'll never go across the field. Then what does he do? And then when you do that, who fills that hole in that zone, right? Like let's say that guy was in a cloud flat and you cross man that man. That means now the running back out the backfield can dominate all game, right?
Put him on a weak route.
There's a play like I did it last game. There's a play that I call, and I know how to bring the safeties up, right? They don't do it. They do it by default, but then all about something else. But the play still looks like they're blitzing, and they're not. What do? I know exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna call it out because I love that play and I run it, so I ain't gonna call it out for us. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
So what do? You just send full on a fly route. Now I didn't even cross man anything. I just moved them up 2 to 3 yards. You know what I'm saying? And that little bit blew the whole play up because by design they're not even supposed to get behind cover 4. So what are you willing to sacrifice when you do cross man? That's all. It's cool when it works. It's high risk, high reward. To sum it all up, it's high risk, high reward. And you better be willing to pay the price and roll them dice. When you do it.
Why I think that people have, and I'll tell you where I think a bunch of the cross man is coming from.
YouTube.
A lot of the Madden pros use that tactic, but understand this. A lot of people in MUT and stuff like that use that tactic too, but look at your average MUT team compared to your average franchise team. Yeah, you probably can cross man if you got Ronnie Lott and Jack Tatum and Earl Thomas in your secondary. Them dudes are going to make up for a lot of shit. But when you got John Smith and Joe Smith back there, you're going to want to be careful with that.
Yeah, and I agree. Like a lot of people do. It's funny. Like YouTube has it has helped and also hurt the game, right?
Yes.
It helps to see what people are running, but it hurts because now people don't think for themselves and come up with their own, right? They just try to run whatever's popular online, and then they try to bring that scheme or that concept into the league, which is funny because the new guys do that all the time, right? We see the new guys do that all the time. Like, look, they come in, they talk trash. I'm going to do this, this, and this because I have a MUT team, blah, 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 and I do this online. But we didn't seen it all. We didn't seen it all already. You know what I'm saying? And that might work against this user, but that's not going to work against the other 31 teams, man.
Well, not only that, think about this. The fact that everybody has to record, even if you catch somebody off guard with something 1 or 2 times, especially if they're a divisional opponent, you're not. It's like what they say in the real NFL. Now we got game tape on. Okay? And there's too many people here that understand how to shut shit down and how to adjust to take something away. See, where I 100% agree with you is this, and I tell this to people all the time. I'm going to use a play that you run, and it's a play you've been running since last year, so it's not a surprise. That wide curl play, if somebody's seen that and said, man, that's a nice play, I'm going to take that and I'm going to do it, but they don't put the time in and they don't lab it, it's not going to work the same because you don't know what adjustments that man's making to make routes rub against each other or to open dudes up. You're just running what you've seen somebody else do. And when you don't know the science behind adjusting in back of that, I feel you're going to have a problem. And that's on defense too.
Yeah, I agree. So it's funny, my phone's going off, right? Everybody's watching, a couple people watching, hitting me. So 2 things. So Kirk was saying that he uses the crossman a lot to stop the run, right? Now, again, it's a cool tactic. Here's why it's a cool tactic. Depending on how it works, when you run the ball, if it's a run, they neglect the stick, the receiver, and they just shoot to the running back, right?
Yeah.
The problem is if it's a play action pass, especially when it's a play action pass, and the quarterback has high play action, and depending on the glitchy route, that's usually not a glitchy route, but the route that usually has a man beater, you're sustainable, you're suspect because again, that man cannot cover the 30 yards to shoot across. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's high risk, high reward. So I did, Kirk, I do want you to understand that it is a cool concept and it works when the person's running the ball. Even if you take a linebacker and then let's say like the person in the shotgun, inside zone type run, the linebacker that's kind of on the same side as the running back. If you man him up on the running back and you hike the ball, in theory, he just shoots around the edge because that's his man. You know what I'm saying? That's not a cross man. You know, so when you man up certain players on the certain man up certain things, it just adjusts the play, right? So it's a cool concept. Second thing, shout out to the Bears. He says his first year in the league, and he has won Pies division. Kudos to you, bro. Me and you have a history in the other league, right? You know what I'm saying? We have a history in the other league. I have respect on your name. Thank you for winning the division because he's been getting by a long time. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to your new home. That is your division. Continue to dominate that division.
You know what? And I give Rico props too.
Well, hold on, Ty, because you know what was happening in the other league. So I'm gonna let you try right now. But you know who was putting them hands on you in the other league when I was doing my thing. But go ahead.
Oh, I want to give Rico props too. I know he's been back and forth in USFL for a cup of coffee a bunch of times. It seemed like him and Mondo would join for 2 or 3 games and then roll out.
Right. Shout out to
the fact that Mondo rolled out again, but this time Rico said, "Nah, I'm here, damn it, and I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna establish my rep." And Rico's pretty quiet in the chat, and he let Pi run his mouth, and Pi was talking shit, and Pi even told me you better not lose another game. And quietly, he did his thing, low key under the radar, and I do give him props. So yeah, definitely the Grizzly Bears. Rico gets some props, man. We got an open team, man. Tell Mondo to bring his ass on back and actually stick around.
Yo, you know what? Who I wouldn't mind coming to see back here, man. And I don't know if he's banned or whatever, but he was a good dude, man. Stickwork, man. What's up with him, man? I would love to see him back.
No, that's my boy. As a matter of fact, he Stickwork. You mean get this work? My boy Lockdown.
Yep.
Lock lives 30 minutes from me.
Yeah, I would like to see him back, man. I loved his game, man.
No, he's not banned. He stepped away from Madden on his own, and with the exception of maybe like a you, Boone, or Cletus, I got more game time with that dude than anybody else anywhere. I go back with that dude to like Madden 11 when I first met that dude playing an online rank game, and we've been cool ever since. And that was like my #1 lab dude forever. Nothing really happened other than he had his kids are getting older. His oldest daughter's in college, and he just kind of shifted a little bit of his focus toward more of taking care of stuff at the house, and he's gotten away from Madden. I haven't talked to him in a minute, and it's funny because I'm glad you brought him up because that's going to remind me to give him a call. But yeah, he just he's not banned. He left in good standing. He was a good dude. He never had any problems with anybody. He was highly competitive. I'm sure he'd be welcome back. He just hasn't had time for Madden.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, you know, I had to take a hiatus for a minute. I didn't get it right and then come back, so it's understandable. But shout out to him, man. The Raiders dude is what's his username? What's the Raiders username?
Was Slim Shady? Slim Shoddy?
Okay, he was also going by like Raiders Nation or something in the chat, right? For a while.
He what?
He was going by like Raiders Nation or something in the chat.
He still goes by Raiders.
Yeah. Then I like that guy. His user's been dope. He's basically took over since what's the name been gone, right? The War Brother been gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his game, man. I really like his game.
That's Dre's Ace Boom right there.
Yeah, right. So I like.
I know they probably won a San Francisco Oakland Raiders Super Bowl. So everybody in the league, man, everybody in the league that's in the playoffs, Rico, everybody, AFC, NFC, hey, you know them dudes behind the scenes are conspiring to make it a damn Bay Bowl. Let's do what we do.
Yeah, for sure. So like I like his game that, you know, Jacksonville, I call him the kid because he's a young guy. The kid, I like his game. But to be honest, man, I'm tired. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm tired of seeing the same guys like myself, you at the top, man. Me, you, Boom, Paya, Cletus. It's good to see like some new faces in there, new hungry young faces with the Ticks and the Raiders, the Dre's. You know, I remember teasing Dre. What was that? Was that last man or even earlier? All you knew was the C route. Remember that? We saw.
I do remember that.
All you knew was the C route.
I do remember that.
He was the C route king. You know what I'm saying? You know, look how far he came.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like, you know, it's funny. Like, you know, we sit up here, we joke, we talk trash, but to see that again, I call him the C route king. He's now 16-0, right? Tick only got 4 plays. He shops at Baby Gap, right? Taking shots at him all the time. Now he's winning Super Bowls doing this thing, right? We talked about trash. We said, Mo, you wasn't that good. The show ain't that good. He's now turned the Eagles around. It's just like that's the cool shit about the league. Yeah, that's like the cool thing about the league. And the trash talk and the stuff that we do here at the Owners Box is like we say what we say. It is some truth to it as far as like the tips and all that. Hopefully you guys can take that and turn it into constructive criticism and use that for motivation. Because I know I do. Like even during me and Ty's game, like he threw that pick, I'm texting him. You know you know better than that, right? I know he's laughing even though he don't text back. You know what I'm saying? Like he throws. Like
I told you after the game, I'm thinking, man, you know damn well I want to throw that in a real game. Yeah. But while we on the topic of Tick motivated me by winning his Super Bowls. Because I guess in some of the leagues he's in, he got a little trophy. So he loves coming in the chat and taking a picture of his trophies and putting them in the chat, aside from his name. So even though this is USFL, since most of us are in both leagues, this year I took cue from him. When I won the Super Bowl, not only I got a trophy by my name, but I went out there, Prime sent the Super Bowl winner $50, and I took that and parlayed that into this bad boy right here. I got my own trophy, Tick. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Yo, I don't know where you got that from, but I'm gonna see some bread. We need an Owner's Box Super Bowl trophy, bro. I'm gonna cash out some bread. We for sure need Super Bowl trophies.
Hey, I agree. Hey, okay. Since I brought that up, when Prime did that, I was talking to Boone about this, and that is something that I do want to talk about too, and I do want to bring that up, and it's about time that you know what, We do start doing something from time to time with some prize money, some trophies or something. This was, I want to say, $30, and it could have been a lot cheap. The actual trophy was $8. It just came up to 30 because I spent $26 to UPS second day at overnight. But I got the engraving, the whole shot, so I got mine too, Tick. So now whenever you post yours, baby, I'm posting mine.
Yeah, I got that, yo. Because only even with the 30 shipping, I got at least half on that. I mean, I can pay the whole 30, but at least half. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so that's motivated. So
think about it. Think about what I'm saying. And now I got the website and I'm registered to it. You can get that for $8 with the embroidery on the engraving on the bottom.
Done.
There's 32 owners in the league. I really think we can manage this.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
$8 trophy.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with that. I'm with that all day. I'm with that all day. I think that's super dope. You know what I'm saying? We can get that going. And then that last season, like right before the new Madden, you know what I'm saying? I'll put some money up, so I won't match my money or whatever. If not, then I'll even buy that Super Bowl winner, or whoever has the most Super Bowl wins, buy them that next Madden, a copy of Madden. You know what I'm saying? It's only right you know what I'm saying? We do something like that. So
those are all things that I think about as well. And it's funny because I actually put a message in the commish chat telling Bill and them that, you know, I want to start when we get to this part of the season, jumping on a PlayStation party or Google Hangout and really just talking face to face and getting some things done, because I feel a lot of times we try to communicate with each other through the chat, and sometimes I think things die. We're in different time zones. We're doing different things at work. So sometimes you'll put something in the commish chat that's vital, but you don't get people responding to it and answering to it. Whereas I feel if you get everybody on these calls and on Google Hangouts and things of that nature, where you're looking people eye to eye like this, you can really say, hey, what's the verdict on this? Are we going to vote this in or not?
Yeah, so, that's why like when like you come in, because you know you speak from a player / commish perspective, right? But then we also bring in Bill, and Bill always just speaks straight up from the commissioners. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
have this platform, you know, to have this platform, be able to do that, people tuning in. That's what the whole thing is really created for. Us to talk our trash, but make the league better, but also have this interaction and things like that. And then that trophy right there, bro, that shit is game changing. I don't know about anybody else, but I want one of them $8 trophies. You know what I'm saying? I want.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, man. Hey, I will find a picture.
Watching this, ain't no more 16-0 shit. I'm getting one of them trophies, bro. You in the way in the NFC. I'm getting one.
I'm telling you, man. I kept seeing Tick put his little Super Bowl trophy. I'm like, damn it. You know what? 6 years from now, I wouldn't mind having 4 or 5 of these on the mantelpiece going, yeah, man, you know, I did my thing. And man, because I've won, as you know, I've won NBL Super Bowls. I barely remember them. I don't have shit to show for them. I don't even have a certificate, a participation ribbon. I'm like, damn it. Hey, from now on, I'm getting something to mark the occasion.
Yeah, for sure. Like I got a Super Bowl. I ain't got nothing but just
your memory.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so that's dope, man. I like it.
Hey, I do want to go back to something you said earlier when you talked about seeing other people in the league step up and how you enjoy it. I'll say I enjoy it too, just for the competition aspect. I like the fact that every single season, and this is just my opinion, some people may feel differently. I was talking about this with Boone yesterday. That's why it's always funny to me when somebody claims the title of being the best, because I really don't think no one in the league can claim that title, because I feel like as much as we all have great schemes and do good things, sometimes I feel matchup styles make fights, like they say in boxing. And somebody could be clear-cut. Tick can be the most dominant player in the league, but every time he plays Texans has his number and has him figured out. So I feel that mantle of the best in the league, it's up for grabs. And there's about a good 11 or 12 people, realistically, I honestly feel every year that have a shot at an actual Super Bowl. Yeah. And I actually feel that way. I don't feel it's so top-heavy to where it's like 2 people and then it's like, well, damn, everybody else is playing for second. Yeah, some people are hotter than others. Some people have really strong gameplay, but I feel like it's all about getting hot at the right time. And I feel like for me personally, whenever I've had awesome runs, I didn't have the 16-0 records. I didn't have the 14-2 records. I didn't have the 1 or 2 seed. I've always got hot at the right time and done damage from the wild card. Like, it's just who gets on that roll, who's locked in, who's dialed in, and who can play mistake-free, as you like to say when you get to them 4 games.
Yeah. And there's a lot of variables to that, right? Like, it's hard for me to say, like, I'm better than whatever. And I know you don't have a team that you would, like, we're not playing head online. Like, you're forced to play your best with the team that you're given, right? Yeah. So I think the only true way to do that will be as like a bracket style Madden tournament. Like, you pick whatever team you want. We all go in like a bracket, like a NCAA type style bracket, and then that's how you determine that. And then you might win that now, but that means you're gonna win it again next month. You know what I'm saying? Or every time out. So you just, like you said, it's just really who you know that player you are at that moment, at that time. If you're in a rhythm, you know, and your shit is on, then I say, hey, rock out until somebody beats you. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why we always say what? Steel sharpens steel. And that's why we hope that there's about 11 or 12 people in this league that can make a run every year. Because I feel like if you don't try to bring your best consistently, I don't care who you are, you can find yourself not in the playoffs. You can find yourself one and done. Like, you have to respect everybody, and you have to play your game, and you have to be consistent, which is the big thing you and I always talk about. Yeah, I mean, you can't just win 2 or 3 games, man. You got a tough schedule, a tough division. Me and Boone talk about this all the time. Like, I know him and Syph always talk about this, that it's so tight in the division with those two that they literally feel like they just can't lose a game. Like, you almost feel at the start of your season, think about this. You might feel this way with Dre. You probably feel going into next season, man, as far as I'm concerned, my mindset is I got to be 16-0.
Yeah, I feel like that. Just anytime, like, not even going 16. I just feel like, I need one of them 2 top spots in when it comes playoff time. I need that bye week. I don't want to claw and scratch and fight from the wild card. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. I So that's my whole mindset all the time, especially knowing, like, if I lose this game, Pi could take first. Oh, I lose this game. At the time, Boone could take second. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I lose this game. Damn, Ty might come in. He's going to get hot. It's just, when does he get hot? You know what I'm saying? And then, like, you got the Don Joes, who you think, oh, I'm going to just come in here and beat this guy. And he comes and sneaks in a win. There's so many different variables all the time. Like you have to be on all the time. That's why I always say, like, one snap at a time. All the time. Like, it's always one snap at a time. That out route can change not just the game. It can change your whole trajectory for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? You lose that one wrong game, that whole shit is gone. Yeah,
you damn right about that. And what I love about it is I feel like there's so many different ways to do it. Like, there's no one set way to be successful. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Me and you have had this discussion last year. Your mindset is winning a division and getting one of those 2 top spots you don't want to fight and claw. Mine is just getting in there, because if I feel it don't matter where I'm at. I just need to be in there, because if I'm in there, for some reason, I play better when I got to scratch and fight and claw. I don't know if it's because I'm always used to that, having to be in the NFC East in previous Maddens. I don't know what it is. I play better in that circumstance than when I got a big lead. I can relax. I got time off. Let me overanalyze this. Well, who am I going to play? If I play this person, I'm going to have this game plan. Nah, man, just keep the ball rolling. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Right. No, I get it, man. And it's now good to see, like I said, it's good to see that other guys are competing. It's not the same guys. The AFC being super tough. Even the NFC now, everybody's like 8-8, 9-7, this and this and that. Like, it's like the right time. I came back at the right time, I feel like. Like, now I feel like I can just disrupt some things. I feel like now, remember when I first met you, like, way back in PS3, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you had your own show. It was the coach's corner. And I called in, like, you had the blog talk. I was like, like, I'm never mentioned in the top 5. Like, I'm never mentioned, bro. You like, like, start winning games. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, I've been beating people. What? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I feel like that again. Like, it's good to see, like, people dominating, doing their thing. And, you know what I'm saying, to be motivated. So, man, USFL, man, to me, it's like it's one of the best, if not the best CFMs I ever played in. You know what I'm saying? Aside from the NBL, and a lot of us came from there. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to see guys like Doc, who I've known forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see him come up, finally do his thing. I would love to see a Joe Deasy turn the Bills around, or if not turn the Bills around, Joe Deasy get off the Bills and then try, come to the NFC and see if it works. You know what I'm saying? If not, worst case scenario, go back to the AFC.
Hey, I got something for you along them lines, because I agree with everything you said. This was just a thought, and we can't do nothing about it here. I suggested it in the commission chat, and I think it'll be fun, especially as we get into these later seasons. I was talking to other commissioners about we should turn coach firing on. Now, hear me out. I feel like, remember how we're all competitors and we're all competing. If someone is continuously bad, there's no incentive to get better in a sense. Say me with the Giants. Say I go 2-12, 2-14 every year. It really don't matter. I mean, of course I would like to win, but I still have my team. But if I know that if I have two seasons like that, I might get fired, and now that team is up for grabs. So what I was proposing was we turn Coach firing on. Ty has 2-14 seasons. Coach Ty gets fired. So now any other person in the league that wants the Giants can have them. I don't get kicked from the league, but I got to take the team that's left over from whoever takes that team.
Now, how does a person? I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it, right? Now you get fired from the Giants at 2-14. How does the new owner? How do we pick the new owner? Is it from the pool of other fired coaches, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say for example, Falcons fan gets fired. I love the Falcons. That's my team. Like, that's who I like in real life. How do I now leave Seattle if I'm winning or whatever? How do I get the Falcons? Like, that's my team.
Okay, that's a good question. I didn't think that far ahead, but what I would do if there's only one person that wants the team, then that person gets it.
Oh,
but
sure.
I feel, but if there are multiple, then maybe we do something like come on this show, put all of those names in the hat, shake it up, and a random name is picked out to be fair. Like, say 5 people want the Falcons. It's not fair to go, okay, here you go, Joe, you can have them. Put them 5 names in the hat, shake it up, pull the name out. Whoever is selected, they get the Falcons. Now, the coach that got fired, he can go and take over Seattle or whatever team you was at. The reason why I like that is, I feel it puts pressure on these guys that are chronically 3-13 to, put some time in the lab, step your game up, get some help, watch some damn owners' boxes, put together a scheme, do something. And it also gets people who hold teams hostage. Say Joe Deasy was a Bill fan, which I know he's not, and say you're a diehard Bills fan. You don't want to keep seeing that, man. You're thinking to yourself, man, if I was over there, man, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I know the USFL doesn't play like this. I miss the old school team selection. You know what I'm saying? We used to get on, before, people were doing streams back in the NBA. I miss when we used to get up on here, 32 names in a hat, you shake them up, and then you pick the order, and then by that time you determine your team. Because then it's like, for example, the Steelers, right? Steelers are a very popular team. Bill has the Steelers. He's always had the Steelers. But I know C. Black loves the Steelers. Kurt loves the Steelers. A couple other people love the Steelers. But unfortunately, not to pick on Bill, like you said, Bill has had the Steelers however many leagues or in Madden's USFL, and he's never won a Super Bowl. Like, bro, it's time to give him up, bro. Like, you're hoarding the team, and it's the same outcome every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Kurt feels like he can do better than that. I know C. Black feels like he can do better than that. I know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Willie, me and Willie are both Falcons fans. I know when Willie had him, and I was watching him in UGF, you know what I'm saying? I was watching him like, yo, Willie, you destroying the team, bro. At least give me Julio Jones. And he was like, no. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't doing it. How do you feel about, like, let's just say, even in the later, or let's just say next Madden, we just everybody start from beginning, 32 games in the hat, team selection, or the teams who have been sucking now get the chance to pick the teams who they want first, and then the person who's been dominating gets to go last. Does that make sense? What are your thoughts on that?
And I was just smiling because I'm like you. I'm getting feedback from the folks, which is
I done started something. Here we go.
Well, no, it's all good. Another shout out to Rico. Just want to let everybody know he ain't playing with nobody. He said it's out here, man. He said I'm not playing none of these games out here with nobody. So I like that. My man is calling his shot and playing good football at the right time. I also got a DM from Bill. Basically with the idea of possibly looking to maybe put all the weaker teams in one division. I think it could work, but it would take a lot to make that work because Moondog loves the Cowboys.
Right.
Right? So if you said to him, hey, do you want to go to Division X and we're going to put these other people here and you might actually have a chance, you know, to win a div, I think he still stays put with the Cowboys.
Right. But the results are the same, right? So for example, like Boone loves the Cowboys. Moondog loves the Cowboys. If we do, let's do this. We put how do we do that without even offending somebody? What is that based on? Was it based on just their records? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was what based on the coach? But that's why. Okay, now this goes back to why I talked about coach firing, because you control your own fate.
Right.
It's not subjective. It's not you're being picked on. If you're chronically underachieving, you're gonna get fired. You did that. That's your gameplay.
No
so
doubt.
If your team is now,
like you said, you have something to play for. You have something to play for. You have two things to play for. You have to play for $8 trophies, and now you have a chance to. Now you got to play, or you're gonna get fired. I personally like it. You know what I'm saying?
So that was something that I thought would be cool. But again, what I like about it is, no matter who you are, we're all, hey, you know how much I love the Giants. Bro, if I got fired, it'd be a hard day for Ty, man. But you know what? I did it.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why I said
well, see, I'm going to tell you another thing I like about it. Let's go back to the beginning of the show where we talked about teams getting eliminated from having more than 5 sims. Think about this. How many times have you heard people talk about tanking because they feel they don't have nothing to play for, or they want to tank for a high draft pick? Go ahead and tank for that high draft pick, because when your ass gets fired, you ain't getting that draft pick. It gives you motivation to play 16 games. It doesn't matter if you're playing for a playoff spot, but that tanking shit and that simming games and taking losses, that shit's going to start coming to screeching halt, because now you might lose your damn team. So people are going to have to rethink that strategy.
Yeah, and that's what I say. I like that. And then, like I said, when the new Maddens come out, if we can just even consider this team selection, because then it's like it becomes mixed up. You know what I'm saying? It's so mixed up now. Like, again, let's to me, and this is my guy. Thank God he doesn't have my new phone number, but I'll send it to him, because when I say this comment, he will for sure call me or text me, right? To me, Cletus is Tom Brady of USFL. Here's what I mean by that. Before Paya gets in it, his ovary starts showing. I'm not basing that on skills, right? What I'm saying is this. The comment that's always made about Brady. He doesn't play anybody. He doesn't go up against any top-level competition until he's deep into the playoffs. Cletus is my guy. I like Cletus. I know he's going to freaking text me, but it needs to be said. But, bro, you only get to the top-level people. You only get that challenge when you get deep into the playoffs, right? You've been the Patriots of that division for a long time. I can't even remember who has won the division, bro. Like, who's won the division before you got there? We're talking about maybe like the Honey Badger days, things like that. Like, will Cletus had that same success or even better success if myself, Dre, Boone, you, Tick, we all go, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we all go into the divisions? You know what I'm saying? How do we make it more level to where it seems that everybody's not always the top heavy teams? And I do like the coach firing, right? The only issue.
Hey, I'm sorry. I gotta we can get right back on that. Slim Shady, aka Raider Nation, hit me up. Wanted me to let Rico know. Rico, calm your ass down. Dre and them Niners still beat you and they own you. Raider just wanted me to let you know.
Right. I like the Raiders guy. Yeah, he's funny.
For real. But now, okay. I know Cletus must not be watching because he would have been hitting me up.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going to tell you what he's told me, because I've had this conversation with him. You know me. I'm cool with everybody, but I have no problems keeping it real. I talked to Cletus about this before, because my thing is, bro, with them tomato cans in your damn division, in all the computer games you get, I feel like you got a headlock on every award out there. Because whenever you play the computer, you're going to put up 80 points. You're going to throw for 9,000 yards. You're going to get 25 touchdowns. And you get 3 or 4 of those a game. And then you get Miami and you get DZ. And I'm like, man, damn. His thing to me is this.
Right.
Ty, you've been here a long time in this league. No, I had Lockdown in my league at one time. I had Fogras in my league. They both said the same shit you and Gates are saying. Because I told him this. They said the same shit you and Gates are saying, that they was going to come to my league division and I wasn't going to do shit. And I kept winning and I ran them out. He also pointed out to me that last year, and it was true, he had Candyman, old NBL favorite. He had Candyman in his division and Strong when Strong was banging it out. And he said,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Who did Candyman play in this? Who did Candyman play in the Super Bowl?
You.
Done.
Right?
Done. That's what I'm saying. The 1 year that Candyman was in there, what happened? He didn't do shit. He didn't. Who he played? Me in the Super Bowl. So stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. He can say that. He can say that. And the only reason why Candyman left, because he had started another league. Me and Candyman, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my arch nemesis. You know, we go way back.
Same thing with him.
Yeah, me, you, him, we go way back, right?
Yeah. My Super Bowls were against him.
Yeah, right. So he does come back that one. He does come back that 1 year. As soon as he comes back with the Dolphins that nobody wanted, he goes right to the Super Bowl. Right? Boom. Blows right through the division, Super Bowl. So clear, it's hard to for real, it's hard to have that argument when the whole point is if people have a chance to select their teams versus just whatever, I'm carrying my team over, are the results the same? If Cletus doesn't get the pick in the top 5 and then somebody picks the Jets top 5, now Cletus has to go to the Vikings. Are the results the same? That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? If Pye doesn't get Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers all the time, he gets somebody like the Bucks with Jameis Winston and all that. What is he now? Am I not the Falcons and I do my thing? You're not the Giants. You go, you know what I'm saying? You go with the Titans or the Broncos or whatever. A Doc gets, and let's say a Doc or Joe D's, they get one of the supreme teams. What are the results then? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are those results? And I feel like,
my opinion, the results are the same in this regard. It may take you a little longer to get where you got to go because you may not have the same pieces. Like perfect example, you was able to jump out immediately with the Falcons when you had Matt Ryan, Julio, Devonta Freeman, Tevin Coleman. Now you went to Seattle. Forget the layoff. Even if you was playing your game, you don't have the same pieces you want, but you're still Gates. You still know how to play. You still can adjust. You still are going to have drafts and opportunities to build your team. You're still going to have opportunity to pick up free agents. So while you might not be the dominant powerhouse season 1, season 3, Gates is going to be Gates. And the reason I say that is I wasn't always the Giants in this league. I was Denver in this league. And I was going to playoffs with the Broncos. Mm-hmm. I'm not the Giants in UG. And it's a lot of the same USFL players. Won a Super Bowl there. So at the end of the day, the pieces might be different, but if you can play, it might take you a little longer, but eventually your scheme, your adjustments, and your input on that team will prevail.
Right, but I'm saying, not to discredit that. I agree with that point, right? If let's say if we do a team selection, and I'm almost me coming back, I have a chance to pick a team. I can go with Dolphins, Redskins, and I can go Seattle. I can face twice a year, and I can face. I go with Drake, who's more competitive, right? The other two people in my division, I don't really know them. Let's say next up, right? The fact that you have it allows you to move different. So when we talk about Coach Fire and you see how he sees where all the top players are. He might choose it now to go do a weaker division. Do you still think the results are the same?
I kind of didn't hear the very last part because you was coming and cut. You was muffled. It's certain.
So like, if I pick 25th, right, and I pick my division. Let's just say all the powerhouses are scattered all over. And Moondog is like my next pick. He's after me, or Joe Deasy's after that. Moondog, like they now determine. Okay,
hold on, I got you. Let me. I know what you're saying now. Okay, we're saying the same thing, but we're saying different things.
Yeah.
Would Cletus be more challenged if he was in a division with some perceived powerhouses? Yes. Would his role be a little more difficult? Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt. I don't doubt that for any minute. At the same time, no matter where Cletus goes, he's going to make his trades. He's going to draft well. He's going to put his types of players on that team. And while he may not start like a house of fire, he will still be where he needs to be when it's all said and done. So I get what you're saying. I think the only difference is his road might be a little harder. So instead of Cletus routinely going 16-0, maybe he goes 11-5. But at the end of the day, he's still a playoff team. He's still a threat to win a Super Bowl, no matter where he's at. That's just my opinion.
Agreed. Now, but I'm not talking to, of course, like you said, the top players are going to be the top players, right? We're going to be that regardless. I'm talking to the lower guys, the guys who are forced to be in these divisions with the top players. Maybe I am Joe Deasy. I'm tired of being beat by Cletus all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a lot. You know what I'm saying? It feels like even if I pick my team, I get to decide my fate by two things. I pick this team. I have something to play for because if I fuck this team up, I'm also going to get fired. You know what I'm saying? Like we had them both options. It's like it lights a fire into everybody for two reasons. Because I might be secretly watching so and so like he's losing all the time, bro. If he loses and he gets fired, I'm on that team. You know what I'm saying? Because I want that division. It's like we are kind of saying the same thing, just different ways. I feel like to sum it all up, I would like to see both. I would like to see Madden 20 come out, my name in a hat. I pick whatever. You know what I'm saying? I pick whatever because I have two things to pick now. I have to pick a roster. I either have to choose, do I win now or do I rebuild? And then what division do I want to go in? And then I have to play at my best because if I don't, I'm going to get fired. And God knows what team I'm going to pick after that. You know what I'm saying?
For me personally, I got you. Me personally,
yeah,
I've always been I'm down for whatever.
Me too. Yeah.
So for me, I like fun. Sometimes 8, 7, 9, 10 seasons in, it gets a little monotonous. Me and you talk about that. We start out loving to play each other. Man, I got Gates, man. Week 13, I'm circling on the calendar. And you get 4 seasons in, it's like, damn, I got Gates again?
Yeah.
I just played this dude. And so I love all of those different types of things. But I can say this. That's definitely a decision that would have to be made like by a lot of people. And what I personally, my personal opinion, I wouldn't care. Because I actually enjoy playing with different teams other than the Giants because I play with the Giants so much, even though I love them to death. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to get rid of them. I have no problems playing with anybody else. I like the team building aspect. I like building something from nothing. I love like what you're doing because I love doing stuff like that. It's a test within a test. Man, I build this team from nothing to something. Like even starting this season with the Giants being a 73 overall, seeing them now at 82, I feel a lot of pride about that. Just because I know how hard it was to get them 10 points with the way 9 points with the way you got to build. So seeing them actually be decent and seeing good young players on their team now, it's cool.
Right now here, and just to play devil's advocate, right? The reason why I like it is because of this. I've played with you guys for, I don't even know how many Maddens. I stopped counting, right? When it comes to the USFL, and let's say this is a board behind me, right? This is a board behind me. And it's like, yo, AFC bracket, NFC bracket. I can just grab the teams and just start slapping them. I just slap them shits. Like, and that's been consistently like that for the last 3 or 4 Maddens. The game is evolving. I'm asking from just my user perspective, let's also evolve, right? Worst case scenario, go back to the old one.
2 things though about that. See, now that's where 2 things. Yeah, you can start grabbing and slapping boards, but if you notice, the balance shifts every year because every year people don't stay stationary. Me and Cletus had a heated conversation about this in the chat 2 weeks ago. Raiders had remarked how strong the AFC is. And I said, you know, I actually agree. It's the truth. I'm not a homer. The AFC is stronger. The NFC is coming along. But I simply said, okay, now that being said, keep in mind, Boom moved over from the NFC. Chiefs moved over from the NFC. Cypher Squad moved over from the NFC. So 3 of the big dogs over there right now that's barking a lot, making a lot of noise, were in our division. He wasn't getting why I was saying that. Right. And I said, it makes sense. The balance of power is going to shift depending on who goes where. Now, what I like about the NFC, now you add Rico, playoffs, you add Gates coming back, you add TC, that Falcons owner. Hey, man, all of a sudden now it's going to start to balance out. So that's one. The second point about slapping names on the board, here's where we see it different. You're going to see them same names on the damn board with just a different team. So I don't think, because now I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm for anything. All I'm saying is I don't think if we switch teams that means all of a sudden you're not going to see Boone's name up there. All of a sudden you're not going to see Raiders on the board because he's not the Raiders now. He's the Bengals. That dude's still going to be on that damn board.
But let me talk to your first point. Myself, Boone, we always talk all the time like, yo, I'm thinking about going to this team. I'm thinking about going to this team. Because and how you said, yo, every Madden I'm playing you 3 times, Boone 3 times, Paya 3 times, right? Or let's at least say twice. I'm playing you in the season every time because you always win the division. Like, you know, in the top 2 division, I'm playing you guys, and I'm always playing you in the playoffs. Boone leaves, Tick leaves because we're trying to find that, where you say that excitement. We're all like 5, 6 seasons in. We're trying to shift that power. We're trying to answer a lot of different questions.
Is that it, or is it because they don't have their teams? Because I can tell you, I talk to them same people, and I'm telling you right now, from Boone's mouth, if Boone got the Cowboys, that dude would die as the Cowboys.
Right now, but then now we go back to your case in point. How does Boone keep the Cowboys? For 2 things happen, right? 1, if we do a team selection, he gets to pick them. 2nd, if he doesn't, whoever has them better not get fired. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, Moondog is not giving up the freaking Cowboys, and his results are the same. You know what I'm saying? So, but we are kind of saying the same thing. I'm always down for whatever. My fault, I had you on. You know, I'm always down for whatever. It would just be nice to see some shit just shifted around. Just some questions that I would have, like, yo, like, you know, is Ronnie that good? I like Ronnie's game, right? The Panthers, right? People don't know. I like his game. It's old school, it's run, it's power heavy, it's whatever. But Ronnie doesn't have the results I think he can have if he went somewhere else. That question will never be answered because Ronnie is a Panthers fan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. It's funny because I'm not disagreeing with the concept of picking teams. Again, I'm down for whatever.
And Coach Byron. It's a combo. Both.
Right. I'm down for either or both. I'm down. Okay. All I'm simply saying is there are a few things also to look at. You said if you're Joe Deasy and you're tired of getting your ass kicked by Cletus, how many times have you ever heard Joe Deasy tell anybody, hey, man, anybody want to swap teams? Now, before anybody laughs, okay, yeah, once he's traded all Tre'Davious White and all the good assets and they're 1-12, yeah, nobody wants him. But you know what I'm saying? Like if he said it right now, people gonna laugh just like that. But exactly, that's what they're gonna do. And instead of drinking their beer, they're gonna sip some tea with the Kermit the Frog face. But if he said, "Hey man, going into Madden 20, does anybody else want the Bills?" I guarantee there's some people out there that are gamers. Ronnie wants to win with the Panthers, so Ronnie's willing to play whoever's in that division, and if he doesn't get the best results, he doesn't get the best results because it's not the same for him to go and win with the Texans as it is to win with his hometown team.
I understand.
Right. So all I'm simply saying is there's no victims in this league. Nobody has to deal with the hand that they have. They choose their fates. Like Joe Deasy has chosen to be the Bills for 3 Maddens now. He's never offered to trade him up. He's never said he wants out of that division. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Right.
Because going back to the whole Cletus thing, here's the other thing that he'll tell you, because again, I've talked to him about this and he's told me this. Like, you brought this up before. Hey, well, why don't we get, and Kurt hit me up and said the same thing on a DM a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we line up, you know, the supposed best players in these divisions and then the other players in these divisions? Here's the problem with that. And it's the same thing Cletus always says. If you're a diehard Jet fan like he is, his thing is this: I don't want to go to the NFC West and play with the Rams. I think people's love and loyalty for their teams is such to where it's really hard to get everybody to buy in into picking out of a hat. For me,
for sure,
I don't have a problem doing it because I love the game of Madden more than I love playing with the Giants on Madden, if that makes sense. I love the Giants in real life. I'm a dire fan. Nobody has more jerseys than me. My loyalty is unquestioned. But I could be perfectly fine to play Madden with a team other than the Giants, and it's not going to ruin my experience. For some people, that's their whole experience, is playing with their team. And honestly, it's like real sports. There are some people, honestly, this is going to sound crazy, who I guarantee you don't even care if they lose as long as they get to play with their team. And I guarantee that. And that sounds crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like Moondog. You know what I'm saying? He's cool. You know what I'm saying? He's cool. He don't care what his record is. Yo, I'm showing up, playing my games. I'm winning whatever.
The Dallas Cowboys. I got the star on my helmet. I'm in Texas Stadium. I'm Coach Moondog of the Cowboys. I'm cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a conversation. I like the conversation. I like where it's going. Cletus is going to hit me. I know he's going to hit me. Yep. Cletus, you're Tom Brady. I'm going to stick by that statement. I know it's going to be a long conversation. My PM, when we do another owner's box, you can for sure, you know, anybody that we said, anything Texans, anybody we picked on, you're more than welcome at any time to jump on here and defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know, we stand by everything we say. Ain't no fake news over here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was, you know, to me, either way, we can stay how it is. We can, you know, rock out, whatever. I'm down with whatever. If I get the, you know, I'm a Falcons fan. If I get the Falcons, cool. If I don't, I don't care where we go. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see, as a personal thing, I would love to see myself in a division with me and 3 other top players, just to have that dogfight every division. And then, you know, that's, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm willing to take that challenge. If anybody's willing to put that out there, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the NFC West. If 2 other teams open, Cletus, if you don't think, you know, if you want me to come to AFC, whatever, I'm with all that, Ty. You know, I'm with all the shits. You know what I'm saying? I'm with anything. I just want to be competitive all the way around.
Hey, translation, you trying to say you want all that smoke, huh?
Yeah, I want all the smoke, bro. That's what the young kids. I want all the smoke, bro. Yeah, that's it. So, anything else here we touched on? We touched on a lot.
This was a great show. Yeah. I really, really love the participation in the chat. I love Rico's comment.
Shout out to Rico, man.
I ain't calming shit down, but I just love people watching the show and they're into it. No, I'd like to touch more on the playoffs, but again, because I feel like they're kind of unsettled with actual matchups.
Right.
You know, it's kind of, I don't want to do the speculation. Well, if this person plays this person, I think he can win. But if this person doesn't make it, this, I'm not going to do all that shit. Let's wait till there's some hard matchups in place and then go, okay.
Now, who Kurt had asked me, Saints owner asked me, who can we forecast? Who can you see? Well, let's make your Super Bowl predictions. Regardless of how it is, we kind of know who the top of the teams are. I think what you said is I'm going to go with what you said. And no disrespect to you, I'm going to take Niners and Raiders. I'm going to take them too. I think the boys, you know what I'm saying?
I don't disrespect it at all.
Boone is my guy, though. Boone and I like Jaguars. I would like to see them battle it out all the time, but I got to go Raiders. And, I mean, the kid is 16-0. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't. He's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? 16-0. You got to pick him as a favorite.
Okay. Now I'm going to play devil's advocate.
No doubt.
Seattle and Rams ain't had an owner forever. So the same whole entire argument made for Cletus, you could say for Dre this season with all the computer games in the NFC West. Now, hold on a second. Dre, I'm not discrediting you, brother. You know I got your back. You know you my dude. You earned all of the props and praise you got. All I'm saying is, I'm just telling Gates, hey, listen, while you earned all your wins and you played at an unbelievable level, all I'm saying is the equation can't be just because he's 16-0, I think he's going all the way. That's the whole point I'm making. It's not to discredit anything in San Fran.
Now, can I ask you? All right, so 2 parts. You hit it right on those, right? I'm now in that division. Now it's up to me to answer that question. Is he the same guy with a person, people, top player or whatever, however people see me, not top player, I don't care. With me in that division, is he still that same guy, right?
I'll say yes.
Yeah. So Ty, whoa, he's going 16-0, bro. He's gonna beat me twice.
Well, hold on a second.
No. Answer the question. Don't hit me no politically correct shit. He's gonna beat me twice.
No, it's not about you. I just don't see nobody going back-to-back 16-0.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
But yes, you're gonna factor into that too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when I say he's still that same guy, I seen the exchange between Strawn and Dre, and I felt both of them. I really felt both of them 100%. Dre's thing was, listen, man, I'm a low-key dude. I suffered my lumps in this league. I've yet to really win something here. I'm real proud that I'm 16-0. And guess what? I feel like he should be. As long as I played Madden, I've never went 16-0. So he has an accomplishment I never had. So I feel he should be proud of that. The counter, what Strong was saying was, hey, 16-0 was impressive. But ain't no regular season awards, bro. Like, we're in this to win the Super Bowl. So while it's great you went 16-0, it don't mean nothing unless you win the bowl. And then that's when they went back and forth with, dude, let me have my shine.
Yeah, I understand. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope accomplishment. Strong is ultimately right? But I mean, let the man get his moment. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to go 16-0.
Yes, it is. Like I said, I never did it.
Yeah, I think the best I've done it. So last Madden, I went 16-0, but they said it didn't count because I had these computer teams and the Sims, whatever. Cool, I'll take that. The best I've ever done is 15-1. It's hard as hell to go 16-0. You know what I'm saying? So, Ty's in the chat and
not clicking in the chat.
What are they talking about in the chat?
He said you are dirty, rotten. Now we're kidding. He just said, hey, man, people forgot when Tricky was in his division, Fulgrar, Candy, and Strong fell off low after the first few seasons. But no, I don't think people forgot because I called it out. It said, hey, he has had them kinds of players in his division.
And what was the result? That's the thing, though. He did. Candyman came out of nowhere, right? He was in the division, and what was the result? No, it wasn't successful. Dre has been successful, 16-0 with the Niners. The Niners are his team. I'm back now. Let's see what the result is. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
But now, hold on. Now, I do got to say this now because I'm going to play devil's advocate. You brought up that point about Candy how many times? What season was that happened? It was season 1 of Madden 18. Season 1. I've always been the first person to say I think people get way too carried away with what happens in seasons 1 and 2 when people are figuring out the game, don't have their roster set. Like honestly, I don't take nothing away from anybody that wins in season 1. If I won a season 1, you know what? It would feel just as good. Okay? I would give you, hey, if I win a season 1, I'm getting a trophy, damn it. So I'm not taking nothing away from it. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you can look at players in September and October and then say, hey, this dude's the dude based on what happened in October. You get into these months when everybody's had the game for 4 or 5 months and they done went through everything up and down and rebuilt rosters, that's when you separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, they all put their jock straps on at the same time, right? So the helmets on at the same time. So the fact that I could come out gunning, you come out slow, is that a penalty to the guys who went in 1 and 2?
No, that's why I said it's not taking anything away.
Yeah, I mean, You know,
it's not. That Super Bowl in season 1 is the same as Super Bowl in season 8. It's the exact same, and it feels just as good. And I'm not taking that away. What I'm saying
is the same until you get that trophy.
Look at what happened in season 1 and then say that's. But you can't. That's like saying the last person that won the Super Bowl in Madden 18 was the best player in all of Madden 18 because it was the last Super Bowl we remember. You can't base an opinion off season 1 or season 8.
No, I'm basing it off the times that he had competition in this league. Times that he had competition in this league. That's all.
Yeah,
and then look, and you said your Paul was there. Huh?
You don't woke up that sleeping giant.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna get out of here before he got in the comments. Somebody must have hit him on the phone or something because if he didn't jump on here in the chat.
Terms of going back to your question to wrap this up, I can't pick a Super Bowl winner right now. I think the competition is that good, and I think it's that close. I'll give you examples. I know Rico has a point to prove, and I know Rico probably feels like he's been overlooked and he wants to make noise. Don Joe jumped in the chat saying he ain't losing no more, and I know he wants to prove a point against me, and I know he wants to prove a point against Dre. I want to face Dre in the 16-0 team. Dre wants to face me as well. He's let me know, hey, I see that high-powered offense. I want my shot at it. Look at the AFC side. Cletus wants revenge against Raiders. Flat out said it. Boone wants revenge against Cletus and against Raiders. Boone wants revenge against Cypher Squad. Cypher Squad wants revenge against Boone. Cypher Squad wants revenge against the NWO, which is the Raiders. There's so many intense, interesting rivalries, and everybody's so evenly matched. I think it's way too premature to say San Francisco and Raiders. I appreciate calling that shot, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's so evenly close matched. I need to see how these playoffs start unfolding and what these matchups are looking like.
Cool. So then we'll do this. If your name ain't the Raiders and your name ain't the Niners, use it as motivation and prove me wrong.
Hey,
my money's on Raiders and the Niners. And if if not that, I'll come on here and apologize. I ain't got no problem with that. Humble me. I'm back, man.
Like a person once said, if you need motivation in the playoffs, you already lost and you're in the wrong place. Straight up. I don't think nobody that's in it needs motivation. Everybody's feeling like this is my shot. This is my time. 3 or 4 games. I just got to win 3 or 4.
Remember I told you that. The first 16 games are relevant. I only care about four.
Everybody's mindset is we're all 0-0. I got to win 3 or 4 games.
That's it, 4 games. You know what I'm saying? 4 games. If you the wild card, I mean, if you got the bye week, you're already up 1-0. You know what I'm saying? If you already won the wild card, you're already up 1-0. You got 3 more to go. That's it, man. No, and nobody remembers number 2. Nobody remembers number 2. And whoever wins it, man, I'm buying you one of the $8 trophies, man. I'll send Ty the Cash App, and we got. I'll sponsor. Owners Box will sponsor this Super Bowl winners trophy. You heard it here, episode 32.
All right, that's a bet. Good show.
That's it. You got anything?
Nah, man, it's a really good show. Happy with the participation from the league.
Yeah, for sure, man. I want to extend this invite, man, out to the Raiders. You know, Dre's always on the show. You know, he's been on a couple times. You know what I'm saying? You can check the past episodes. You always can come on, bro. Anybody can come on. But I do want to talk. I would love to talk to the Raiders. Rico, I would love to talk to you. Texans, we kind of picked on you a lot this episode, man. Come on here and defend yourself. At least give us your perspective, your thoughts. We could be totally wrong. You could be like one of Ty, like saying, like, I don't care. I just want to play. I don't give a shit about my record. You know what I'm saying? So definitely
you know what? There are some people. I don't think we've ever had Cypher on the show, Cypher Squad. I don't think we've ever had Link and Ector, Chiefs Kingdom on the show. Definitely never had Raiders and would love to have him. I think Dre is worthy after the monster season he had to be on the show. Definitely would like to have Rico because never had him. There's a lot of people that we've never had. It would be good.
We've called out Paya almost every episode, and he's still
forget that, man. Huh? Forget that, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely more than welcome. Don, you know, I like to see his, you know, he's a new player. I like to see him, you know, conversation. I like to have, you know, Doc on the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know Doc a whole lot. I'd love to get his man. You know, he's an OG. He's like one of the oldest guys in the league, if not the oldest guy in the league. You know, how does he feel about how everything's going? Before we do this new season, we got to get Bill on here. because I feel like rules change, commission things happen. So a lot of chatty things between you guys during the off season. I know it. I would love to give him opportunity to come on here right before the season starts, or at least talk about the off season schedule. You know what I'm saying? So people know what when the draft's going to happen, or the breakdown of the schedule, so they have something to reference to other than the chat. You know what I'm saying? So, man, the Owners Box, man, is the platform for us, by us. I think it was a great episode, bro. I think we've been rocking out like almost 3 hours too. It's crazy.
It's funny because we never come on here with the intention to go that long. Like, honestly, in my mind, I always think 30 to 45 minutes. Actually, 45 minutes to an hour, but the conversations you get the flow in, and then people start participating, and it gets a mind of its own.
Yeah, man, I agree. And I gotta get my setup. Like, I want to get my setup right, so I bring back the graphics and how it was right before I left. And I get an opportunity to bring the live chat in, so you guys can actually see yourself chatting, and we can answer that chat right, in real time versus just looking.
Awesome. So if you do that, brother,
I could do that. I just gotta sit down and put it all together.
Hey, if you know how to incorporate music, man, I got my little studio back up and running. Man, remember before I told you we used to do it on the coaches corner in the NBL? I can make some original music.
Yeah, do that, man. Do it and email it to me. I can put it up there and let it rock out in the background. Think about that. I can do all that. Yeah, I can do all of that. So, any give me some closing remarks, man. Week 17.
None, man. Just ready to watch some final week of football games. Hopefully some USFL wild card weekend games, and then the Super Bowl tomorrow, man. Hey, very last thing. Who you got in I don't know if you still not watching sports, but who you got in the Super Bowl? Not the USFL, the NFL. Patriots, Rams.
To be honest, bro, I haven't watched zero sports since Kaepernick took the knee, man. I ain't watched boxing, basketball. I haven't watched none of it. But that doesn't mean I'm not aware, right? I'm like, come on, man. Like, I watched it all my life. But I stand for something bigger than that. I think what Kaepernick did was dope. Aside from all that, man, I want the Rams, man. I don't know if people knew a guy who was a YouTuber. Me and him became real tight. His name was All Madden, like all day, all Madden all day. He ended up being killed in a heart attack or whatever. He was a YouTuber, man, dope guy. I remember him telling me 2 years ago before he passed, man, like the Rams were gonna go to the Super Bowl, and he loved Todd Gurley. He was like a Georgia Bulldog fan and all that. So he ain't here to see the Rams there, and that was my guy, low key. I'm going with the Rams, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm pulling for too. Keep in mind where I'm at. I mean, shit, the Coliseum is maybe 50 minutes away from where I'm at right now. So,
okay.
Nothing against the Patriots. I'm not a Patriots hater. I definitely think they're more than capable of winning the game. To me, it's a 50-50 pick 'em, but I would root for and would like to see the Rams get one. No offense, Strong.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think this Super Bowl marks like whatever amount of years they play to go on the Patriots' first Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying, when they won. So it'll be dope to see if the Rams, without the help of the referee, can win it. Will the Patriots, win it or knock it out? And like you say, I like it out Cali, man. They showed me a lot of love out there. I'm going with that. I ain't never been to New England. It seems like it's cold as hell. I don't want no parts of it. I rode back to the Coliseum. I like it out there. I'm going with the Rams, man, all day. Yo, DZ, and whoever else is on the West Coast, I'm gonna be out there, man. Ty, we gotta link up, man. I'll be out that way this month in February. So,
like I said, brother,
on the West Coast, I'm gonna hit y'all. If you're down in Oakland and San Fran area, catch me at the Solely Vegan joint. I'm out there. Ty, I know you down in Ranco. Where you at? I'm gonna make it to you.
I do want to. Yeah, we'll link up, man. I'm here, brother. You got the number? Just call me, man. We'll hit it up.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta take some rock shots or something.
This box from Cali, baby.
Yeah, take some rock shots or something. We do one from the couch right there, or something.
I do want to end the chat with a comment.
Here we go.
And not a conversation. I just got hit up on a guy. Coach Boone. That's why I try to get a different team each Madden, so no one can blame my success on a team or division. Echoing your sentiments.
Yeah. We talk about it all the time. I think that's I just it'd be cool to see if other people like myself, him, you had that whatever team I played for, I'm gonna try to make it the best. But it does feel great to have that team that you really root for in real life. And you can control them on Madden. So I see both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm saying but to end that, to be all, if I had to pick one, Coach Firing, I'm gonna go with. I think Coach Firing is a dope idea. And it doesn't allow people to tank. It doesn't allow people to do them, whatever they want to do for the offseason. Win them games or you're gonna lose your squad. Man. I'm all for that. If you can, Boone, you, Doc, Bill, we can start that conversation up in the offseason. I'm all for that, man.
Yeah. That's all I got, sir.
All right, cool, man. Well, this is episode 32. The Owner's Box. Dre and Raiders, don't let me down. I picked y'all on here. I really don't want to apologize. Good God. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to everybody in the playoffs. I'm already working the phone lines, trying to make deals happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming for the spot in the NFC West. Rico, shout out to you for winning the NFC North. I appreciate it. Don, run with the NFC South. I don't see nobody, taking that from you. Ty, I don't see nobody taking NFC East from you. Cletus, that's your spot. Raiders, that's your spot. Really, it's really Boone and Jacksonville, who really, to me, I think is a great matchup on the AFC side too. So I say all that to say, we out of here, man. Till the next one. Ty, when we want to do the next one? After the playoffs? After right before the Super Bowl? You want to do it right before the Super Bowl?
Let's text and touch bases when we maybe we could look at things on Monday because we should. Well, yeah, we could. Yeah, maybe even after the Super Bowl. I mean, let's stay in touch via text and see what happens. See how this last week shakes down and what the match looks like, and then maybe we could do what we used to do on Wednesdays and run a really short and abbreviated version just to give like a playoff edition one.
Okay, that sounds like it's cool with me. I'm all for it, man. So Marc Gates, we got Ty, both fair signing off, man. The Owner's Box episode 32, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking out. Again, anything that we've been said here, you have no problem hitting me up. We'll set it up. You can jump on here, rebuttal it. Let's comment on it. Talk your trash on it. Rico, call out whoever want to call out whatever. That's what we're here for, man. Signing off. Peace.
Lady.